Hi everyone, welcome. This is Satvik. In this video, I'm going to show you how to develop a chatbot on the Llama 400 billion parameter model. So this is how the app will look like. You can just enter the Fireworks API key, which is the provider that we are using. Once you enter the API key, the chatbot will start something like this. So you can ask any questions that you have. So you can just chat with it directly. So we are going to show you how to develop this chatbot from scratch. I'll explain you the code and I will also point you to the repository where you can clone and build a chatbot of your own. So let's get into it. So if you're not aware, Meta AI has released new versions of their Llama 3 models, which come in different sizes, which is 400 billion parameter model, 70B and 8B. In this video, we're going to show how to develop a chatbot on this 400 billion parameter model. To use this 400 billion parameter model, we are going to use an API from Fireworks. So you need to go to fireworks.ai and you can create your own API key to develop this particular chatbot. So keep the API key ready. So that is something that we are going to use in the lecture going forward. To create a chatbot like this, the first thing that we need to understand is how to use the model through an API. So I'll give you a quick walkthrough of the code as to how to use the model through an API, and then I'll show you the Streamlit code. Let's get on with it. This is the code that we have. So this is the same code that I've used in my last video as well. I'm using LangChain in this case, but you can use any other framework that you want. As a first step, install LangChain OpenAI. So you might be confused why I'm using LangChain OpenAI for this. The reason is Fireworks API is OpenAI compatible. Also, we can use the OpenAI module as well. You just need to change the API key and API base. So that is the only thing. So once you initiate the model, so you will see something like this. So I have already ran some tests on this particular model. So where you can just say Llama, whatever is the model name that you have initiated, .invoke, and put whatever query you want. So I've already tested it on a lot of prompts in the previous video. So yeah, just keep in mind this particular code, which will be very useful going forward. Now that we have the basic inference code, we need to create a Streamlit application. We have created this repository buildfastwithai/LLM chatbot, where you will find all the code files and the necessary details required to run this particular chatbot. There are two main files in it. The first file is requirements.txt file. So all the packages that are required to run this module, run this particular app, should be present here. So we are going to use some packages from Streamlit and LangChain. So that is what I'm installing. And in the next step, we are going to write the code for the Streamlit app. So I'm not going to walk you through each and every line, but I'll just give you an overview of this and I'll show you how to create a Streamlit app using this one. So if you notice carefully, so whenever there is a query from the user, so we are just running the LLM and we are storing that in a memory, and that is something that we are displaying in the chatbot. So this is the standard code that you will be using whenever you deploy chatbots. I'll make a more in-depth video of how to create a Streamlit app from scratch. But for now, you can look at the code and probably ask ChatGPT to explain certain parts if you don't understand it. Now that we have a basic code of how to create this particular chatbot and the requirements.txt file, the next step is the deployment of this particular chatbot. So we are going to use Streamlit for it. So let us just go to Streamlit. So just go to Streamlit. So I have already opened my particular profile and these are all the apps that I've created in the past. So if you have already created apps, you will see here. If else, you can just see a create app button in here. So just click on the create app button. Since we already have the code, so you just say, yep, I have an app. And let us just paste the GitHub URL for the code that we have. So this is the GitHub URL that we have. So just copy paste this. And you can give a name to the bot. So Llama 3 chat py. I'll just put the channel's name, build fast with AI. And you can just click on deploy. So the only thing that we require is create a repository with the requirements.txt file and the code for the Streamlit app, and then paste the GitHub URL and just change the name as you want and click on deploy. So this should take 2 minutes and you will have the app ready. Once the deployment is done, the app will look exactly like this. So if you want to test this particular app, you can just enter your API key in this and start chatting with the bot. So let us just try if our deployed bot is working or not. So let me grab the API key first. I have copy pasted my API key. I'm just pressing enter. You see that the chatbot is initiated now, and I can just say, this is how you create an LLM chatbot in Streamlit. Hope you learned something new and had fun. Until then, thank you, and we'll see you in the next video.